drama, Gentleman Jack. This is BBC One Sunday nights at 9 p.m. from the 19th of May. Now, this is you working again with the great Sally Wainwright. Yeah. She wrote this, but am I thinking has she ever directed you before?
No, never. So, no, we've worked on, this is the fourth project, but she's written all the others. Scott and Bailey, Unforgiven, Life and Crime of Julie Bottomley, and then this. So it's an 8-part series, and it's based on the real diaries of Anne Lister. And she left almost 5 million words of a diary, and it described her as an astute businesswoman, and she documented the social, economical landscape of Halifax at the time, but then a sixth of it was in code, crypt hand or secret code. And that was because she, those parts, the secret parts, documented her affairs with women and relationships with women, which is a very important document because of the time. We don't have many documents that detail it in the way that she detailed it. So sometimes
when you say detailed it...
Oh, it's explicit, yeah. And so she's often referred to as the first modern lesbian. I mean, lesbian wasn't even a word because it covers 1832 to 1834. And she talks about her gender and her identity. I mean, it's so transgressive. It's unbelievable that we don't already know about. I mean, lucky for me that we don't, but... Yeah, unbelievable.
Well, listen, we'll talk about it more in a bit, but let's just have a look at a clip. This is you as Anne Lister meeting your love interest, Anne Walker, played by Sophie Rundle.
You need to be careful, and Miss Lister keeps a journal.
Oh, she's famous for a journal.
She records everything, absolutely everything, in great detail.
Yes, you must be certain to stay on the right side of her. Otherwise, you might end up in it.
You don't have to offend me to grace the pages of my journal. Sometimes I write about people I really like. Do you keep a journal, Marion?
No, oh no.
Thought I to myself,
I never know what to put.
shall I make up to Miss Walker?
I do.
Though she'll scarcely understand it herself, I can see that the poor girl already seems thoroughly in love with me. And what she lacks in rank, she certainly makes up for in fortune.
Ooh. And the diaries... so, did she hide them, or did just nobody know what they were? Because they lay on red for, what, 50 years or something?
Yeah, so at the end of the 19th century, a relation of hers, John Lister, and his friend Arthur Burrell found them, and they managed to crack the code. And obviously, when they cracked the code and they realised what was in the secret part of the diaries, Arthur Burrell said, "You need to burn these diaries because you can't be associated with that as a family member." But John didn't, so he hid them in the wall of the house, Shibden Hall, in Halifax, where we actually filmed. So I got to literally walk in her shoes, because they allowed us... And you can visit there as well. It's a beautiful place, very magical. And then, it wasn't until the beginning of the 20th century that they were given to the library in Halifax. And then I think it was a historian called Helena Whitbread that cracked the code, and then we're talking kind of like through the late 80s, 90s.
But even when it's translated, it's still kind of... She uses odd phrases and things.
Yeah, because it was so deeply secret, that part of her, that she couldn't... So she'd use things like incurring a cross about Miss Walker would mean masturbating over her, or wintering in Rome, which meant full sex, or going to Italy meant full sex.
Right.
So, yeah, she was still hiding it within the code, yeah.
Wintering in Rome?
Wintering in Rome, yeah. Or grubbling, which just meant a quickie.
OK.
Yeah.
And am I right in thinking, Darren, you read Elton John's diaries?
Yes, I did. So, that same trip where I...
Oh, I thought you said trick. I thought he was wintering in Rome. He used the